A very good morning, dear students. Good morning, everyone. Can you all listen to me? Can you see me properly? Okay. A very good morning to every one of you. Good morning, Pratush. Good morning, Priyanshu. Good morning, Ronak. And thank you all for joining the live class. I'm sharing the screen right now with you. I will be doing debate writing, as already been mentioned in the WhatsApp also, that I will be doing debate writing. And apart from that, I have already uploaded some audio links, as well as I have uploaded materials also related with debate writing. Hope so you all will see it. Now I'm sharing the screen right now with you. It will be processed shortly, I guess so. Yes, it is getting processed. Please stay online. Okay, is it visible to every one of you? Debate writing. This particular material I have already uploaded in the Google Classroom also, as well as in the WhatsApp group also of your class. You can see it from there also. Now, debate writing is an entirely new thing. Okay, it is an entirely new thing. And what exactly is debate? That thing we have to know. Normally, directly if we solve it, we might face some problems. So we have to know exactly what is a debate. Now, debate is a contest between two speakers or two groups of speakers. Now, basically it is a contest, verbal duel, we can say, or a verbal contest. Now, the contest is between two speakers or two groups of speakers. I think there is someone on the line. Good morning, Rishabh. Thank you for joining the live class. Good morning. So, I am discussing debate writing. Just now, I have started some preliminary informations about debate writing I am providing. So, actually it is a contest between two speakers or two groups of people or speakers to show their skills and abilities in an argument over a given topic. Verbal duel, as I told you just now. Speakers who agree with the topic are known as affirmatives. Okay, this is for your information. Speakers who normally agree with the topic are known as affirmatives, or the government in parliamentary debating. And speakers who disagree with the topic, they are known as negatives, okay, or the opposition in the parliamentary debating. I think this part you have heard also, opposition party, and the negatives one, whereas the affirmatives are those people who are agreeing with the policies of the government. Now, debating is a great confidence builder. Normally, you have to write debate, but in schools also, debate contests are held. Normally, debating is a great confidence booster or builder for people from all walks of life, especially the young people. So debating is very essential for young students also. Now, debate is different from speech. On Saturday, I did speech with you, but there is a difference between a debate and a speech. Okay, what sort of a difference? Let's come to that. Debate is different from any other type of speech because you are not just giving information, but also defending the idea given through that information. This is very important. You are not only circulating the information, but at the same time, you are also defending the idea given through that information. Being aware of the fact that the points in the debate which you are going to include will be cross-checked. Definitely, in a debate contest, the points are cross-checked. It becomes necessary to make it strong, keeping in mind all the pros and cons of the contents in good check. Even when you will write also, your points, okay, your informations or your points should be very strong. Okay, it should be very strong, and you have to keep in mind, okay, the nuances of a proper debate. So strong points should be written properly. And another important thing is that it is not just like circulating information, but also defending the idea given through that information. But you have to defend your idea also. So that is the reason speaking for the motion and speaking against the motion. Whether a topic will be given, questions will be given. Now in the topic will be given whether you will be given the choice whether you can speak for the motion or you can speak against the motion. It depends on you, your choice. Now the next important segment that I will be discussing right now with you, essentials of debate writing. Okay, essentials of debate writing. Here are some points that I like to discuss with you all. Okay, essentials of debate writing. Point number 1, you see, a proposition, a question or a problem is required for writing a debate, and speakers have to speak for or against it. Now obviously you will not speak, you will write in the exam. So obviously a particular topic will be given, a particular problem will be mentioned in that topic. Now either you have to speak for the motion or you have to speak against the motion. Thus every point should be chosen carefully. You have to choose every point very carefully. Whatever you are writing, you have to choose every point very carefully, not only very carefully but very cautiously also. Okay, keeping in mind both the positives and negatives of the point of view. You have to choose your points properly. Your points should be very strong. Whether you are writing for the motion or you are writing against the motion, whether you are supporting the topic or whether you are totally against the topic, whether positive or negative, whatever your point of view is, it can be positive, it can be negative, whatever your point of view is, ultimately the points that you will write, those points should be very strong. Okay, those points indeed should be very strong. Next important thing that I like to say, point number 2, an outline of the main point should be prepared in the order in which one is going to argue to make the points clear in mind. So my suggestion is that before you write a debate, don't directly write it. As I told you in a speech also, a rough draft is very important. In case of a debate also, you make a rough draft. Okay, a rough draft is very, very important. So an outline of the main point should be prepared in the order in which one is going to argue to make the points clear in mind. You have to give a basic outline, okay, or rather to say all the points you jot it down, okay, and jot it down properly like a rough draft, so that ultimately when you are writing it, okay, so that ultimately when you are framing it or when you are writing it, you can take help of those rough points and then beautifully you can frame up your debate. So it is very important that you can make an outline of the main points and that you can write in the last page of your answer sheet or maybe in the rough work assignment. From there you can while you are writing, you can select the points, you can construct it a bit, you can change it a bit, because ultimately it will give you an idea. So directly, my suggestion is that directly don't write. Write some points, okay, make an outline, okay, in the last page of your answer sheet, make an outline and then you proceed. Okay, now I am moving on to point number 3. There are usually limitations on the time a speaker can speak for. Thus, the point should be precise and informative as well. In a real life debate, okay, there is a time limit, time bound. So you can't speak hours after hours, okay. You have to speak on a specified point, you will be given a specific time limit. Okay, that happens in case of a live debate. And in case of exam also, the time management is very important. You can't write on and on. You have to stop somewhere. And word limit is same. It is just like the same in case of speech, 150 to 200. Okay. Point number 4. Every topic or subject has its own vocabulary which must be carefully chosen so as to avoid unnecessary pauses in between the debate for want of words to express the thoughts on the spot. Now obviously you will not participate in a live debate, but generally what happens in a live debate, the participant who is participating in the debate, he should have a thorough knowledge regarding vocabulary, okay, because he should be very much clear in his thought process while he will go on with his vocabulary, okay, he should be very much clear with his thought process, okay, which vocabulary should be used. So unnecessary pauses, I mean, it should be avoided, but while writing a debate, you should also have a good knowledge about vocabulary, because ultimately it will help you. Now, point number 5. See, the speaker addresses the chair, Mr. President or Madam. Okay, this type of information is given in the solution part that I have uploaded. Submit an argument, appeals for sympathetic understanding and support, questions the opponent's view, concludes an argument. He also answers questions. Thus, all these things should be taken care of in order to make your point of view more concrete. You should always take care of this. Whenever you are presenting an argument, you have to be a sympathetic listener. You have to listen to the opponent's point of view also. And at the same time, you have to give your own point of view. Now basically you won't participate in a live debate, but this is what happens in a debate. So when you will write the answer also, you have to be very cautious of what exactly you are writing. Now see the next one, how to write a debate. This is important, dear students. How will you present a debate? How will be your presentation? This is very important. See, I guess you all can see it. How to write a debate. This is the next topic that I want to discuss. Some points are there that I like to discuss with you all. See, before I start with the points, it is written to write a good strong debate. You should keep some of the following given points in mind. Okay, what are those points? You should actually keep in mind. Good introduction. It should have a very good introduction. Okay. Please take care of this. I am repeating once again, good introduction. Don't write it very casually that okay, let me write whatever it will happen. Okay, no, not like that. Don't write it casually. Okay, write it to the point with a very good introduction. Your presentation should be excellent. Then only you can get 5 out of 5 also. It is possible to get 5 out of 5 also. So good introduction is very important. Dear students, this particular, the first important point regarding good introduction you should keep in mind. Okay, see this point. A good introduction is the basic of a debate. You can't just start a topic just like that. I told you, you can't write casually. You can't start a topic like that. Whatever is coming in your mind, you have to write everything. No, you can't start like that. You have to properly plan out. Okay, you have to properly plan out what I am trying to write. That is very, very important. So let me come to this point. A good introduction is the basic of a debate. You can't just start a topic just like that. You can't start a topic like that. Whatever is coming in your mind, you will write that one. No, my dear students, you can't do that. It has to have an introduction to set the tone for debating. Introduction should be very strong. That is the reason repeatedly I told in case of speech writing also, creative writing demands that it should be a very strong writing. Writing should be very strong. Okay, dear students. And you should actually properly plan out everything, whatever you want to write. So automatically from the very outset, that is from the very beginning, you can set a tone for debating. Okay. Introduction needs to be peppy so that it grabs the attention of the audience and garners interest in the topic. Peppy means it should be very attractive. It should be very attractive and it should set the tone. It should set the tone for the audience, and also not only that, it will actually make the audience curious what you are speaking about, or when you are writing it. Your introductory point should be so excellent, it should be so attractive that the examiner should be very interested to read your entire segment. So this depends on how beautifully you write. Writing should be very strong. Okay. Now the next point you see, choice of the area of debate. This is important. Choice of the area of debate. Choice of the area of debate depends upon the purpose for which you are writing the debate. It depends on the purpose on which you are writing the debate. If it is for a collective team effort, there will be several categories of debate. Original, oratory, political debates, to name a few. But it's not a debate that you will participate in a group. You have to write it individually in your exam. On the other hand, if it is for a competition, requirement of each event should be shown beforehand. Now, suppose you are participating in a competition, so the requirement or the level of discussion, it should be shown beforehand. But when you are writing for the examination, you should actually assemble all the ideas in your mind. Then only it will be a proper, or we can say a perfect debate writing. Next one, choice of the topic of the debate. Yes, it will enhance your confidence depending on the choice of the topic. So choice of the topic is very important. Once the debate area is clear, the next step is choosing the topic. However, if it is a competition, the topic may be chosen for you. Okay, because if it is a competition, the topic will be chosen for you. In exam also, exam is obviously a competition, there will be a topic, but before you attempt the topic, okay, your point should be very clear, whatever I am about to write. Okay, your debate area should be very clear. If it is not clear, you can't proceed. In that case, you need to read as much information as you can on the topic beforehand. In examination, you won't get the topic beforehand, but you can practice the sample papers. Okay, you can go on with the assignments, you can go on with the PDF materials, study materials I have uploaded. That will give you enough information beforehand how to proceed in a debate, because ultimately choice of the topic in a debate is very important. It depends on how much you have learned or how far you are well informed regarding or related to the topic. Now next one you see, research your material. In a debate, you may be asked to debate a side of the topic that you personally don't agree with. Sometimes in the question paper also you will find that discuss whether you are for the motion or against the motion, whether you want to write for the motion or against the motion. If it is for the motion, your point of view will be totally separate from your point of view if you want to write against the motion. So frame up your points. That is the reason I told you rough draft is very important. Highlight or jot down the points, then select the points, then you finally write it down. Okay, see now, you need to know what both sides of the issue are. The more you know about what your opponent is going to say, the better it is. If it is a live debate, obviously you have to be a sympathetic listener, and obviously you have to listen to your opponent also. But if it is not a live one, if you have to write also, then also you have to use the strong points while you are writing. Because as I told you, you are not only circulating the information, but you are also defending your information in a debate. Normally that is the area of difference between a speech and a debate. In a speech you circulate the information, definitely in a debate also you circulate the information, but side by side, apart from circulating the information, you are defending your information. That is very important, dear students. Okay, see, collect ample information on the topic and do not leave loose ends. While you write also, this is a request from my side to you all. If you attempt a debate also, okay, whatever topic you are attempting, you should have a proper information in your mind. Okay, and remember, don't leave any loose ends. While you are participating in a debate also, this same suggestion I will give you, never leave a loose ends. While you are writing a debate also, the same suggestion I am giving you, never leave a loose ends. Okay, see here, do not leave loose ends, as these can be used against you by your opponents. Okay, now normally in a live debate, if you leave any loose ends, the opponents will be very clever to catch hold of that loophole or that loose ends, and obviously they will be against you regarding that loose ends. So while you are writing also, take care of these loose ends. Don't leave any loose ends. Next one, main points of your debate. Very important, dear students. Take your information and outline your main points. I repeatedly told you in the rough sheet, okay, at the last page of your answer sheet, okay, take down your information, write down your information, outline your main points, okay, sequence, in a proper sequence, do a rough outline, because ultimately it will help you to frame up your ideas properly. Because as I told you, casually you can't move on with this. You have to outline your main points. These main points should be exactly what you are trying to get your opponent to believe about your position. Under your main points, use capital letters like A, B, C to write sub points. Okay, this is important. Even in rough draft also you can do this, sub points. You might be thinking, sir, this is not note making, so why we will be doing sub points? No, in debate writing also it will help you to flesh out. Okay, it will help you to organize your points properly. So my suggestion is that, suppose use your main points by writing the capital letters like A, B, C to write sub points why your main points are right. Okay, under your sub points flesh out your argument. I told you main points A, B, C, sub points Roman 1, Roman 2, Roman 3, just like in case of note making also. And if you get any examples, if you get any illustrations, definitely you use it in the sub points. This practice, ultimately if you do this practice on a regular basis related with solving debate writing, a part of creative writing assignment, ultimately it makes it easy to memorize your debate and recall it efficiently. Ultimately it will be easy to memorize your debate, and obviously while you are writing in your exam, you can recall it efficiently also and effectively also. Okay, next point. Support your argument with examples. Yes, you have to support whether you are speaking for the motion or you are speaking against the motion. You have to support your argument by giving examples. See, it is always wise to include a few examples in support of your view. This makes it easy to convey your viewpoints to the audience in an easy and effective manner. Examples which you use should be relevant to the topic at hand. Yes, whatever examples, whatever illustrations you are giving, remember it should be relevant to the topic that you are solving in the examination. Okay, am I clear? It should be relevant to the topic that is there in the examination. Whatever examples you are giving, whatever illustrations you are giving, examples which have very little or nothing to do with the topic only make us speech or a debate look weak and lacking substance. So remember to give only concrete examples that are interrelated or very much related to the topic you are solving. Otherwise, if you give any other examples, it won't be very much helpful in your debate, because it will be weak and ultimately it will lack substance. So it should be very strong, because as I told you, not only you are circulating information, but you are defending your own information. There lies the real essence of debate writing, dear students. Okay. However, do not make your debate an example worksheet. Don't make it an example worksheet. You have to do it very, very cleverly. Now, this is another important one. Use cue cards cleverly. Now, this is related with a live debate. If you are participating in a live debate, but still, I will be explaining this for your information also, for your knowledge also. Cue cards are small note cards. Okay, you can use it. Now, you will see also in television also, when there is a debate contest, those who are speaking for the motion or against the motion, they are using some cue cards. It is actually nothing but small note cards. Okay, used to remember or recall something. Now, by clever, it is mean that you should use them in such a manner that the audience doesn't comes to know that you are actually reading them. Now, remember, those who actually participate in the debate, they speak they have to use the cue cards in such a way that the audience may not actually realize that you are reading it. You have to improvise it in such a way that you are actually debating it in a very serious manner. You are not reading it out from the cue cards. That is very important. Another thing, these cards can be anything that triggers your memory. Cue cards are very important, but in examination hall, while writing a debate, you can't use the cue cards. Okay, and in that case, you have to write down the points very well, because those points will actually use as your cue cards. But in a live debate, you have to use those small note cards that we call cue cards. Okay. Now, cue cards are meant for reference or memory joggers and not to reveal that you have forgotten something. Actually, it is actually like a memory joggers. That means you are rewinding something. Okay, in your mind, you are rewinding something. Okay, rewind, listen, rewind. It is like that. Cue cards will help that. But in exam, cue cards, it is not possible. So you have to write down the points in the rough draft. Okay. Now, maintain eye contact. Suppose you are involving in a debate context, always look into your opposition and also look into your audience's eyes, because you have to convince. See, eye contact also reflects how the audience is feeling about your speech. It gives you a chance to rectify your speech also, and obviously eye contact is very important. You have to look at the audience, you have to look at the opponent. But in examination, eye contact is not necessary because you have to write down. But in a normal live debate, eye contact is very important. Now, some other points are there, and two more. Add some humor. While you are writing a debate or while you are speaking, make it interesting and interactive. Remember these two double I. You have to make it interesting. You have to make it interactive also at the same time. Okay. Funny line you can give, but you should not divert from the topic. You have to take care of that in your mind also. Now, when this has been achieved, you can consider that you have gained some ground. Yes. If you can add a sense of humor also, while you write also, you can use a sense of humor. But remember, dear students, whatever you frame it, your presentation should be top notch. I repeat, your presentation should be top notch and it should be interactive as well as interesting also at the same time. And remember, the last point is be well prepared. While you are presenting a debate in front of live audience or while you are writing a debate, you should be very well prepared. Practice your speech, and during the debate, listen to your opponent carefully or record it. Normally, it happens in a live debate. You have to show some respect. You have to listen very diligently and carefully to your opponent. But in exam, no opponent as such. You are your competitor, you are your opponent. So, whatever you write, strong points and relevant points should be written down properly, and the writing should be very strong. It should be interesting, it should be innovative, and it should be interactive also. Okay, take care of that in your mind and practice more and more solving debate writing. I have given homework assignment also. From there you can solve it, you can show it to me also by uploading it in the Google Classroom. And apart from that, the examples I have given, you can also see those things that will give you a fair bit of idea about debate writing and all those. So that is it, dear students. I like to end my class with that. Please go through this particular material. It has also been uploaded in the WhatsApp group as also in the Google Classroom, and please go through the audio links. 4 audio links I had already uploaded in the WhatsApp group as well as in the Google Classroom. Kindly go through that, listen to those audios, and if there is any doubt, please don't hesitate, let me know about it. Thank you everyone for joining the live class. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone.